comic book people of the world, it is Wednesday, that means it's comic book day. Let me show you what I got this week. First up is Thor issue number 1. Yes, they are doing a new Thor series, but this time Odinson has taken back up the mantle of being Thor. He doesn't have his Mjolnir because it was destroyed in the previous storyline, but he has many other weapons, mostly hammers, that are going to be used for his weapons in the future. Being that Asgard was destroyed and the Rainbow Bridge, he's cut off from the other realms, which is unfortunate because the Dark Elf King is going through the other realms, destroying them, taking them over, and pillaging and all that stuff. Enter Loki, who does have magic to go to these other realms, but of course he has ulterior motives. This was a great first issue, being that there was a lot of action taking place, including Thor taking on Juggernaut and Namor, while still setting it up for the future storylines, including a second story that's going to be taking place in issue number 5. But they gave a prelude into this one, which was interesting that they decided to do that, but you know what? It got my attention. Detective Comics issue 982, The Cult of Blackfire. This is more of a standalone issue that doesn't really have too much to do with the ongoing storylines going on in the Batman comic books, but it's still a good read. Batman is trying to save a boy who's been taken by an evil cult, and obviously it's not as easy as it sounds, but like I said, this is a standalone issue, so there is resolution at the end. X-Men Blue issue number 29. Jimmy Hudson, who happens to be one of the sons of Wolverine, has been infected by an alien species known as the Poison, and it's taken over his personality. The X-Men, the younger X-Men, are trying their best to keep him under control. Of course, this is failing though. The next issue should be interesting. We finally get a pairing that I've been waiting to see happen. I won't give it away, but the cover of the next issue has already been shown, so many people can guess who it is. Titans Special issue number 1. This story is more of a prelude into the new team of Titans that's going to be taking place in issue number 23. Nightwing has been charged with starting a new team by the Justice League, who's being led by Martian Manhunt. So it's more Nightwing recruiting his new members, some of which are going to be some of the old members from the previous team. I won't go through all of the members, but Miss Martian is going to be a part of the team. This is something that I'm really excited about because she hasn't really had too much of a presence in the New 52 universe, with the exception of a couple cameo appearances here and there. But I am really happy that Donna Troy is going to be a part of this because I'm a huge fan of her character and I feel like she's really underplayed in the DC universe in almost every capacity that's been done. Venom issue number 2 or issue number 167. I'm not really quite sure what Marvel is doing with their numbering. They're keeping the new numbering, but they're also putting the old numbering underneath it, so it's kind of weird how they're doing that. Anyways though, Eddie Brock is finding out that there was a previous symbiote that came to Earth before his own, and apparently it is quite powerful. It almost killed him. In this issue we get a bit more of a backstory of that symbiote and what happened when it came to Earth. Eddie will need a bit of help to defeat this symbiote in the future issue, which help comes at the end of this one. That's going to be a really cool pairing to see how that plays out too. Again, I'm being vague because I don't want to spoil it. The Man of Steel issue number 3. The new Superman villain, Rogol Zar. I'm not really quite sure if I'm pronouncing that properly, but anyways, he finds the Fortress of Solitude and he destroys the shrunken city of Kandor. Superman goes ballistic trying to find out who this new character is, along with Supergirl, and we get a little bit more insight as to what happened to Lois and Jonathan, who are gone in this storyline. That's going to be something to play out into a bigger story, which I'm kind of curious as to where they're going with. The Flash issue number 48, Flash War Part 2. This is a storyline that I'm really interested in because it's laying the groundwork for characters who have been missing for years. He hasn't been directly mentioned as of yet, however Bart Allen's costume has been seen. The character of Zolomon Zoom, who was Reverse Flash at a certain point and enemies to Wally West, has brought him into the future, or at least brought him to a different location where he was brought into the future with Barry Allen. And he's reminding Wally West about his kids who may be trapped in the Speed Force. And in order to save them, the Speed Force has to be destroyed. Barry Allen is not on board with this strategy, so he's going to try to stop Wally. This may be where the whole Speed War aspect is going to come into play. I really hope this isn't just a big tease and we do get to see some characters come out of this, like Bart Allen. Finally, the last issue I read this week was New Superman and the Justice League of China, issue number 24, the finale to this series. Really unfortunate because this was a good series. Even though I didn't read it regularly, I did like the character being introduced. This issue was more for the character of Kong Kenan, who is the Superman of China, and how he's accepting his roles and his responsibilities and his powers, which was a great conclusion for his story. I hope he's going to be used in the future for other DC titles. He deserves it, and he also deserves a role in the Superman family. But that's my comic load for this week. What did you guys read? Leave comments down below and let me know. With that, thank you guys for watching me in this video. If you haven't done yet, subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, hit that like button. Check out my Patreon site when you get a chance. Check out my social media sites, my websites, and everything else out there. Peace, love, namaste, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. If you've not heard the news yet, my favorite gay Marvel character, Iceman, is getting a new ongoing series written by Sina Grace, who wrote the previous Iceman series. I'm going to be doing a new video on every single issue that comes out, so stay tuned for that. The first issue comes out in September 2018.